Hello everyone, welcome back to another Academy video. Today we're going to be going through the putting fundamentals and how you can improve your practice before your round to improve your putting. So let's start with the grip. The fundamental basic for the grip is we're going to change the way the club looks in our hand. So with a 7-iron or a driver or a wedge, you're going to grip the club quite low down in your fingers. That's going to create lots of stability in a full swing and get lots of added in some club head speed. But for putting, we don't need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that putter grip higher up in the palm of the hand. Notice how that creates a line from my elbow straight down to the floor where the club head is. That's going to create a very, very stable action in the club head, not allowing the wrists to move at all. If I had the grip down in my fingers, what that's going to allow me to do is then hinge the wrists and open and close the club head. So I want to create that wrist angle up high to lock the putter head nice and straight from my elbows to the floor. Right, the next fundamental we're going to talk through is the stance and posture. This is very important for putting. This can determine if you have a straight back through arc with the putter or if you have to slightly arc it inside to inside. So let's start with the stance. You want your feet slightly wider than your shoulders. If my feet were very narrow for putting, it's going to allow my hips to turn quite a lot when I take the putter back and through. And notice how that swings the putter inside and inside. So if I widen my stance slightly, it's going to help me keep that putter straight back, straight through. The next fundamental is posture. So we're going to stand, I have a mirror on the floor here which is going to help me get into the correct posture. What you're looking to see is your eyes to be right on top of the golf ball. So one thing I do, and I teach many amateur golfers how to practice, is pretend you're looking over a wall to the ball. Notice how that straightens my legs, my hips are back, and it gets my eyes right over top of the ball. I'm using the mirror here to get my eyes right on top of the golf ball. So I can see through the mirror that my eyes are right on top of the golf ball. You can do this at home by dropping another golf ball between your eyes onto the ball. That allows you to get your eyes right on top of the ball, and that really does help create a straight back, straight through putting stroke. So the last fundamental we're going to talk about today before we go into some practice drills that's going to help you on the green is your ball position. This is a little bit more important than people think. What we don't want to see is the ball position slightly back from center or even middle of the stance. Because if it is, then the putter head's going to be on a descending angle into the ball. That's going to create a little pop of the golf ball and some backspin or even side spin if your stroke is not great. So what that'll do is it'll allow the golf ball to jump and spin, which is going to be very hard for you to control your distance on your putting. Lag putts from distance are made much more simple and easier if you have your golf ball slightly further forward than center. What that's going to allow you to do is hit slightly up on the golf ball and create more of a top spin feeling, and that's going to get the ball to hug the ground. It's going to be much more easier to control your distance. So let's talk putting practice. For you to get the most out of your putting when you're practicing, so that translates onto the golf course, what you have to do first is keep some stats. Try and find out if you're struggling with your short putts or long putts. So on the golf course on your next round, just keep some stats. Is it short putting that's letting you down, or is it long putting? If it's short putting, these 3.5, 4 foot putts are very tough. So to help you control your putting, what we've done here is set up a clock drill. So to put pressure on yourself when you're practicing is the best way to get better. So for this drill, what we're looking at is for you to hold all 4 putts in a row. Once you've held all 4, try and go around once again, and then keep a record of how well you're doing. And then next time you come to practice, you can try and beat your score. That will put pressure on yourself and improve your putting for when you're on the golf course. So the next putting drill we have is for distance control. Like I said earlier, if you have trouble with your short putts, do the short putting drills. If you have trouble with lag putts or long putts, this is a great one. It's all about putting pressure on yourself while you're practicing. So here, the drill is start with the closest golf ball. You're going to try and putt the ball and get it inside 1 putter length. It seems fairly easy to start with, but by the time you get inside 1 putter length, you move back. You putt again, inside 1 putter length from the hole, you move back. It starts to get very, very hard very quickly. And again, try and keep a record of how far you're getting back. It'll soon get very hard, and next time, try and beat your practice to improve your scores. So, to recap what we've learned today, guys, Grip, let's go from having a grip that's down in the fingers to one that's very high up in the palm, creating more straight back, straight through follow-throughs. Let's imagine looking over the wall and sticking the hips back to get our posture correct, so we can get our eyes right on top of the golf ball. Using a mirror will really help. And then lastly, let's go through ball position, slightly forward of center with a wider stance. Going to allow you to hit up on the golf ball slightly to create better rolls for your distance control. So all in all, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you practice your drills around the green. Make sure there's pressure on yourself when you're putting, when you practice, to create yourself some pressure when you're on the golf course. We're trying to simulate what practice would be like on the putting green to create pressure, to make sure that when you're on the golf course, your scores are improving. Thanks guys, that's all for me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you from the Vattanac Golf Resort, and I will see you next time.